Hello, guys, and welcome to an episode of Pop Context and an episode regarding our very own Son Goku. The thing is that this video was supposed to tell the tale and my opinion on why is Goku the ultimate unmeasurable ideal that can actually exist in the manga, in the media, and the franchise as such. But the thing is that not to actually do anything, because one of the things that I believe that people just misunderstand the whole context of the hero archetype in Japanese literature. I mean, yeah, they do realize that he should be goofy as other characters like let's say Luffy from One Piece or Naruto, but then I actually read the latest chapter from the Granola arc where Vegeta transformed into the God of Destruction form. I mean, the hint of the Destruction form. And after that, I kinda just read about and looked at a lot of pictures. By pictures, I mean some of the movies, by some of the clips, and I noticed one thing, and I want to dedicate the video actually to this as a first Goku video on my channel, and that is, why is Goku's Ultra Instinct something of a Kaio-Ken from the Supreme Kai? I mean, our Kai that wanted to teach him when he was actually entering the Saiyan saga. To top it all off, I would like to say that for the first time, you have some kind of intermezzo regarding the God Key, regarding the Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan form, also known as Super Saiyan Blue. And I believe that Mastered Ultra Instinct and Vegeta's Divergent form are actually the things from the schools that are teaching them something. As the Kaio-Ken, there was the peak of training during Goku's trip to the other world during the Saiyan saga. He had to make a couple of things while actually trying to land on the planet of the Kai. And, well, the thing is, the whole Snake Way run, the whole catching of bubbles, adjusting to the gravity, is actually taxing his body, and it's actually forming a stronger bond between stuff in himself. The whole martial arts element of going through the training, the rigorous training that is actually supposed to happen. I believe that since they had to refresh the franchise, refresh the dynamic between the time skip during the last couple of episodes of Z, Super is in a very peculiar place. So the thing is that I believe that since before in Dragon Ball we kind of saw whenever someone is training for something, they just pounding each other, beating each other, meditating or whatever else, and they're trying to strengthen their body up to acquire some new form. But I believe that for the first time in a long time, we have a situation where the forms were actually a means to an end, and the means to an end were actually to acquire the angel form, to acquire the God of Destruction form, because for this time they're not just going above their pay grade, they're going above their mortality grade, if you would like to call it like that. You will call it like that after everything in this. Oh my god, me and my really big ego, or my confidence. To continue, the thing is that I think that acquiring God Key and strength they got when they were in base form and trying to acquire the God Key to control and enter the Super Saiyan God forms to be above everybody else on the mortal plane, they were actually just catching bubbles. Let's say it like that. Not really bubbles, but bubbles, the ape. Yeah, we all know what the monkey we're all talking about. and now instead of a blue corpulent old man, we have a pretty spry angel that is actually trying to teach them something of his own. Since the angel didn't see Whis' intentions were clearly that they both should actually acquire Ultra Instinct, because that is something that he can teach them. It can teach them, but since from the beginning of Super they actually introduced Goku and Vegeta as a tandem, you have a buddy cop Dragon Ball theme going on, and now you have the situation where Whis is actually teaching them something, but one of them is actually his pupil, the other one is just there to acquire something and be recognized, to have a entrance exam, so to speak, to the God of Destruction, because Whis was working on actually what we can say, we can actually theorize that he wants to replace Beerus, but in the whole scheme of things, nobody is going to replace anybody. Vegeta is not here to replace Beerus. Goku is not here to replace Whis. They're literally here to be stronger, and because of their own rivalry, Vegeta's rivalry to Goku, more precise, not Goku's rivalry to Vegeta. They're just a great symbiotic team, because they can only they're literally the only sparring partners they can have in this point in the franchise, and that's one of the reasons why Vegeta is in this whole story. One of the reasons, don't at me, Vegeta fanboys, it's the only thing that actually can give Goku to bounce back on something, because if Goku only trains with Whis, he cannot train only with Whis, he can only do it for a period of time, but when he goes on his vacation, let's say when he goes to Earth, back home, when he comes to see his family, then Vegeta is the only one who can actually train with him. And with Beerus hanging around them, he actually saw that Vegeta is his own man and cannot actually partake in Ultra Instinct, because he cannot. He's not that easygoing as a person. So one of the things that happened here are now they're at a point where both of them can actually go their separate ways, but actually become the pair that are Whis and Beerus, except they are mortal. We do not have any idea of if they will become immortal or anything like that. They will be immortal as long as the franchise has to go on. After that, we will have some kind of a finale, as the GT movie that introduced us to Goku Jr. and his struggle to find some kind of peace, power, or anything like, or something like that, and when he encountered Goku, if you actually remember that. But that's an apocryphal story, so it's just a Dragon Ball multiverse that can capture all of the lore actually necessary to produce other products. The thing is that I believe that Ultra Instinct and the Hakaishin form that is here just shown to us are the two beginnings and the Kaio-Kens of the peak of the training. After that, I believe that they will actually go beyond in their own ways. So what we see, we don't know for Vegeta's form, but that may be one of the redeeming qualities of the whole form. So we know that Ultra Instinct is very taxing on the body, especially the silver-haired Ultra Instinct. So we can have the point where for this point of time, as the Kaio-Ken was really taxing, as all of the really advanced techniques were taxing, we will have a situation where Master Ultra Instinct and okay, let's call it the Master God of Destruction form that Vegeta has. We could actually call it a Destruction form, just Destruction, because he's not a god. He has God Ki, but he's not a god. We don't know if his hair is purple. We can only assume it's purple. So even the fanboys that are trying to illustrate the stuff and trying to show it, it's all probably wrong. Maybe it's on a good way. It's on a good path, but none of it is actually true until we see the final result. Since Dragon Ball exists to subvert our expectations, and fans should actually know that we will never get what we expect, but what we need in that regard. So I believe that their forms will be really taxing, and one of the points is, yeah, they will overcome the taxing part, they will overcome everything that actually has to have with maintaining that form, and after that they will just going to improve upon it. Will they actually ever overcome Whis or Beerus narratively? Maybe, because we actually don't know the point in time where Goku surpassed the Supreme Kai, uh, the Grand Kai, I'm sorry, because we just know that at one point he just became stronger, but also the Grand Kai isn't a combatant in that regard, he's a mentor. We never actually saw him in his younger days when he was, driving the car. Yeah, so that's kind of it. I believe that in the future arcs we're going to see them maintaining their forms for longer and longer periods of time, after which they will probably blend with anything that's going to come as a form or as a promise or anything that is needed for them to actually get the win. Because as we all know and as we all enjoy, the thing is that Goku is the guy who will overcome all obstacles, but if and when more on the if he ever actually surpasses Whis or Beerus, I don't think that we will ever get a point where they clash, because if they clash, then that should be the end. They should actually become the new pair of the angel and god in our universe. But the thing is that if that actually happens, we don't have our story anymore, and it's in the interest of Shonen and in the interest of Toei to actually, like Spider-Man, keep them constantly in a status quo of adventures and power-ups and whatever else the fan base wants to see, and keep them engaged actually, because we have to know that we are getting old for this stuff. They are trying to please us and potentially new readers who will be introduced in it by us, and we should not be so skeptical and critical of everything, because it's a product that has to be perpetuated. So the path to power will constantly be out in the open, it will constantly be acquired. There will always be someone stronger, even though we would like to see someone, I don't know, I would like to personally see a couple of more technical issues where where they're fighting each other not because of a power-up, but to have some serious hindrance, like when Goku faced off against Kale and Caulifla, and when he was wounded and he had to regain his senses. So that was a good show of techniques, of tricks, and combat experience that they actually have. This is just a flashy Baroque-esque panels and panels and issues of just hitting and punching really hard with a stronger and stronger opponent that has to be pulled out of the hat. I'm saying hat because I don't want to say the lower part of our body or the central part of our body where we pull out stuff. Yeah, the magic satchel, let's call it like that. So we have to understand that this is the Kaio-Ken, this is the multiplier that is absurd, and it will only actually be just a stepping stone to another thing. And it is a bit longer, but then again, than acquiring the Kaio-Ken, I mean, but then again, we don't know what their plans are on actually trying to how long will they want to produce the Dragon Ball manga? They will produce it as long as it actually has revenue, but the other thing is that, oh come on, it's going to have revenue, but then again, they have a tendency to just end the story sometimes. If Toyotaro or Toriyama have some kind of a fatigue or anything, they will just stop, and that's also okay, and we will have a couple of years more of Dragon Ball, but until then, I believe that the Ultra Instinct is not an endgame. I believe it's just a stepping stone to the middle of everything, and it is the Kaio-Ken of Dragon Ball Super. So the divergence of form, the divergence of the mentorship that we now have clearly illustrated and put upon us with the earring and with Whis' signature. So that is it. Please, if you like this video, if you have an opinion to share, put it into the comment section, subscribe, and follow me. Follow my Fiverr page probably, because I will put these illustrations on the Fiverr link that is below, and you will be able to buy it if you would like to actually help me produce more of these videos, more of my ramblings. And I'm sorry if it's not that structured, but the thing is that I believe that some of the knowledge I acquired by making art, doing art, and learning about the history of art, I do not want to sound pretentious, but I want to, I don't know, just kind of like expand on the mythology and on every other opinion that a certain person could have to actually offer something different, so that people could actually have a wider scope of knowing stuff. It's not only what the characters are going to become, it's about the will behind the studio, behind the whole production. We all know that a lot of things are happening in the editorial room that we are not aware of, and we should just be along here for the ride. If we are not for the ride, then they will actually stop producing it. So that's as well that's also one of the things that can happen. I would like to thank you, and I would like to see you in the other video that I'm going to make. Precisely, one of them down the line is going to be why is Goku the immeasurable ideal that we should all actually strive upon. I will actually compare him to Superman and Captain America, or even Spider-Man. Not Batman. Vegeta would be more like Batman. And that is it. There is a video on Vegeta, there is a video on Cell, on Buu, on Goten. There will be videos about the fusion strengths, and the videos about nudity in the villains, and actually explore that part as well. Yeah, I know. Until next time. Bye.